do so much damage to them with the Colossus, so NEXGenius is going to have to keep his Colossuses alive and be able to destroy the army of Loner with them.
So as we can see, the Terran's got an expansion up. You know, there's something very strange about Loner's playstyle. You notice he attacked the rocks, stopped, moved out here, then walked back up to here. I feel like nerves are starting to kick in here for Loner.
You know, I don't exactly mind that play too much, because what's great about little moves like that is it freaks your opponent out. And I don't mean you just want him to feel scared. He'll respond incorrectly in the game. He'll make a few more units. He will cut a probe or two, maybe forget an extra pylon. And if Loner was never intending to attack in the first place, it's a great way to get a little bit of extra value out of his existing units.
You know, that's right. Mind games are one of the biggest parts of professional StarCraft. You can really trick your opponent out into doing things he shouldn't do otherwise.
Looks like both players are just continuing to macro up. Again, that is the ability to make lots and lots of units. And because units finish so quickly, oh, looks like NEXGenius' Observer almost took a dive into the ground, but fortunately pulls it back at the last second. Yes, because units take so short to finish, you always have to remember to keep going back and building new ones. So every single unit that is on the map was individually built by these players, are being very, very active with that high APM.
Now, as we can see, he's floating a factory over here. Don't be confused. The factory is not very useful for Terran in this matchup, in this situation, but it can fly, so you might as well scout and see what your opponent's doing.
That's right. He has a much better idea now. He does have those Vikings out, as you see. That is the counter to Colossus. They have a really long range, can hit that Colossus unit and do a lot of damage to it. So much of this game will be based upon how well he can control these units to snipe out those Colossuses.
Now, the one real thing that NEXGenius needs to worry about is making sure he has enough gateway units. Like you were saying, Artosis, the Colossus is the money unit in this matchup. Protoss desperately wants to keep them alive as much as possible, but they're only strong if there are a lot of basic gateway units underneath them. So without a lot of gateways, NEXGenius should be a little bit more vulnerable than normal.
Well, look at here. Let's take a look at the supplies of the players. We have NEXGenius at 131 supply, and we have 127 for Loner. So that is within 4 supply at this point. These two are in a dead heat.
Yeah, it's pretty neck and neck. I guess the only thing I could say is NEXGenius has been doing a little bit, overall, a better job of gaining intelligence. He's pretty much spotted everything Loner's doing. If Loner wins this under those circumstances, that really says something about Loner, because, you know, StarCraft, it's all about deception and trying to fool your opponent.
And again, this comes a lot back to the map that we are seeing right now. Because the distances are so long, neither player really wants to be the first to move out and attack. Because if you're the first to move out and attack, you can get hit by air. It's a little bit risky. Both players just want to play it safe, and it looks like Vikings are starting to move forward towards those Colossus. The Viking have such long range, they can pick off just 1 or 2 Colossus. That would be huge. And he's getting some shots off. Oh no, it's on hold position. He doesn't notice in time, and he loses a Colossus for nothing.
That is a big deal right there, to get a free Colossus, getting almost no damage on his Vikings. That is going to set Loner ahead a little bit here, because neither player is taking a third expansion. You need that third base, because eventually your 2 bases will run out, and whoever has the most economy in StarCraft is generally the winner.
Yeah, I mean, getting a free Colossus is a lot like finding just a car in your garage you didn't know was there and going, great, perfect. I mean, it is a huge boon to be able to take that out.
Looks like Terran's going to stick with bio, or in other words, just, you know, Marines, Marauders, you know, not too many mechanical units, except for, of course, the Vikings. And it looks like he's going to try to go in here and snipe, assassinate one of these Colossuses. Let's see.
I really like these scans that he's placing. He's seeing where the Colossus is, then he's going to try to find from an angle where he can snipe one. Now, here he goes again. The Colossus just sitting there. Are they on hold position? No, they start running, but a lot of damage. 2 hit points left on that Colossus, but still, that is going to carry through, and that Colossus will not survive long in a real battle.
Okay, we got the command center on the way here. Loner going to expand, most likely in this region. He's got to be careful with these Vikings, because believe it or not, even though Vikings fly, Stalkers actually walk faster than them. So you got to be very careful not to get caught. Nobody's destroyed the rocks here.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get too close to each other. These guys are both investing in the late game.
Now, this is an extremely tense time. It looks like they are about to engage forward in a huge battle. Uh-oh, really nice positioning right there by NEXGenius. He's beginning to move forward. Loner sees it. He's pulling back. He needs to get into a wider arc. He stims. He's trying to pick off the Zealots. Great control by Loner, doing huge amounts of damage. The Zealots are trying to sprint to the front. Some force fields get thrown down, and there the Vikings are starting to wail away on the Colossus.
And it looks like Loner may be winning this battle. The Colossus taking so much damage, only 3 left. Soon we'll be down to 2, and he is microing his Marine Marauder force superbly. He is killing so many units for the value.
But it looks like NEXGenius will be the one to force Loner to retreat, and he forgets about a Colossus. Oh no, he loses another Colossus. And that is a very huge loss for NEXGenius, who came out a little bit ahead, and it does look like he has stopped Colossus production for the time being. No, he is starting another one because he is also getting Psionic Storm, an extraordinarily strong spell that just eats Marines and Marauders alive.
Well, it looks like it's time for Loner to expand, and as you see after that battle, very close supplies still. That battle was quite even. Loner at 127 and NEXGenius at 137.
These guys both expanding to each other. Not much room to separate the two.
Uh-oh, a few units getting caught off guard, get immediately picked off. Loner's trying to get in a good position. He's going to upgrade that command center to a planetary fortress, and really, up until this point, it looked like the players were playing a little bit stale, dry, just sitting around, but I guarantee you that it is an extremely intense period. It feels a lot like an inverted pendulum in these later stages. Whoever expands first runs a huge risk of losing immediately. So you see how both of them expanded at almost exactly the same time because they were aware of how fragile the game is, and it looks like NEXGenius is getting ready to make another push.
It looks like a lot of Marauders are here. That planetary needs to finish immediately to help hold this off. And he realizes, oh, here we go. He is engaging. And a lot of micro being done by both sets of units. Marauders running back. And the Vikings killing another Colossus. Amazing play by Loner.
Loner probably could have killed even more had he decided to chase them down. But in the heat of the battle, he didn't. Although, it looks like he might try to go in and engage and go for the kill move here.
Oh, that another Size Storm all over the Vikings, but only one Colossus left. Another nice Size Storm, and you see Loner, he is thinking about retreating at this point because he has very hurt units.
He needs to be careful.
Colossus goes down.
The Money Storm.
It looks like that Size Storm was so brilliant.
Oh!
He has reinforcements on the way.
So many Size Storms being thrown down, but he realizes he has to back up. The Marauders can chase units down. They slow them when they attack. Very nice play by both players here. So hard to tell who's ahead.
And you know what's really difficult about Terran is that for the most part, the entire game, they will be making Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, and Vikings those core 4 units, but NEXGenius does have the advantage that he can continue to progress forward and eventually get that high Templar tech, but it looks like, oh my goodness, a Banshee coming out, as well as Ghost tech. Ghost, great support unit, can knock down shields with one shot.
That's right, and you see that he is rallying down more and more units. He's got that planetary to help him out, but the high Templars of NEXGenius are what is really scary for him. They can just go ahead, storm his units, and that will almost negate his medevac dropships.
A very bold Marauder makes his way back home.
Ballsy Marauder decided to go back home, all right. He actually just wanted to scout. Actually, NEXGenius's army might be too big in this situation. 2 Colossus, as well as the Templars.
Storm advancing forward. Oh, that's a ton of damage. Didn't stim, and looks like he's going to stay here. There's not much Loner can do. He just needs to repair and try to get in a slightly better position, trying to pick off one of those Banshees. Banshees deal a lot of damage air to ground. Wants to pick them off to keep his army alive.
That's right. Now, this is the battleground for the rest of the game. Neither player will actually go through the rocks anymore because look how close these bases are. If anyone leaves their army from that area, the other player can simply counterattack and kill the base.
Switching the advantage here, we have a stiff. Another great Size Storm Zealot for charge moving in here. As you can see, the Terran army is getting pretty softened up. But nice micro by Loner.
He's doing a lot of damage by pulling those Marauders back and forth. And note that all Loner's really trying to do is take out all of those Zealots because that will force NEXGenius to retreat. Unfortunately, NEXGenius has 9 gateways in the main right now and is taking the bottom left gold expansion. That's going to help his economy hugely.
Wow, that is a brave expansion. It takes so close and hard to defend. And here we go. It looks like he wants to attack again. He's got those 3 Colossi that outrange everything else here, so he can do a lot of poking with them.
God, such a tense position right now. Loner has a Ghost. He does have enough energy to throw down an EMP. EMP denies all energy, takes that energy right away, as well as shields, so one well-placed EMP can turn the tide of battle. If we look at that resource counting station, we can see that NEXGenius is at 158 food, 20 ahead of Loner at 140 food.
It looks like this Banshee is cloaked. It is behind. It is trying to snipe some Colossi. And that is also now going after High Templars. And he needs to kill as many as possible. Here comes the Ghost. If he can EMP the High Templars, then he can simply attack. And it will be extremely hard for NEXGenius to hold.
He's got to be careful. He's clumping his units together quite close. Oh! Shot the ghost. Oh, there's another one, though. Was that a ghost that was killed?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Got a nice feedback off, I believe. Now this other ghost is going to have to hit the High Templars with an EMP, remove their ability to side storm, or otherwise his army will just be crippled before it even engages.
Loner's now moving forward. Here comes some more Zealots. Loner's trying to pull back. He's trying to spread out. He's relying on the planetary fortress. There's the stim. He needs to be careful not to cluster up those units because one storm can kill almost all of his units. And there's the Archons. Oh, so expensive getting caught in the back of the fourth heals to try to keep the Archon alive. But Loner really, really wanted that Archon dead. Wow. So he did manage to take both of them out.
I think Loner is gaining a lot of ground now, but with that gold base that NEXGenius has just taken, which Loner does not know about, he will fly ahead in a few moments.
He's about to spot it, actually. It's getting close.
Oh, that is one of the worst feelings in StarCraft 2 when you're just going to check up on something and, oh, there's actually a fully finished expansion there.
Right, he should have scouted a bit earlier, and the army of NEXGenius is getting bigger and bigger. Here Loner goes, he realizes he has to get something done, engaging beautiful micro right there, kiting all the units, nice EMPs, and now he's going after the Colossus.
Unfortunately, he really should have EMP'd the Templars. He got all the Templars still have energy. He instead ended up EMPing the Zealots.
Oh, and at the bottom corner of the map, it looks like a little SWAT team is heading down to the bottom of Marauders. Marauders kill building so fast, but they are out of stim and they are low on health. And it looks like NEXGenius is just going for a push at the front. He knows half the units are at the bottom, so there's Loner pulling back, going to try to rely on that planetary fortress. He is repairing, and SCV's taking huge damage. Planetary fortress at half health, gone. And all the SCVs are taking huge hits as well. Oh, storms on all the Marauders at the bottom left. The expansion is gone, but NEXGenius still has his own third base alive. Oh, all of Loner's units are getting annihilated, and there's the good game.
Wow.
You know, I just wanted to make sure. I think those were pro gamers playing.
Yeah,
I will admit.
Those guys are pretty
sure
good.
That. Yeah, no. They're both so amazing. That was a great game. You know, they were so neck and neck the entire time, taking their third bases at the exact same time, having the same food for most of the game, and it all came down to just one or two little spells after they both poked and prodded each other so much.
That game was an excellent example of how big of an influence the map can play into a game, because these players are well known for being extremely aggressive, always poking and prodding at their enemy. But of course, because those distances were long, both players began building up bigger and bigger and bigger forces, and neither player really wanted to make the first move, because whoever did that ran the risk of immediately falling behind and getting crushed. So when they finally did expand at actually the exact same time, it was non-stop battling till the end. So that was a fantastic first match.
Yeah, you know, with Scrap Station, it's a great map for that. But our next map